Three, two, one. All right, hi guys. You're wondering where's Cricket Krishna? Why is he not there? What's happening? Where did he go? Even he also doesn't know the answer to that question. But Anurag may know it. But we are here for a league stage review of the IPL 2025, and been a very interesting, strange IPL, but one that I don't know could see a new winner potentially. Hi Anurag, what are your thoughts?
Hey Krishna, yeah, definitely. I echo your thoughts as well. A very strange IPL compared to other editions. We've seen some performances from teams which we've never expected.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say the table has turned on its head. We've predicted folks to the ones we predicted, the ones to top the table are at the bottom now, and the ones haven't qualified as well. So that's a shocker for everyone.
Right.
And it's good that the IPL has now been such a stage where some teams who have never won a trophy have a chance to get their hands on.
Mm.
So yeah, overall great game of cricket every match, and hoping for the best in the eliminators.
It's. I mean, as a CSK fan, it is painful to see Chennai not qualify, but and also as a Bangalorean who lives in Bangalore and supports CSK, it's been very difficult times, I must say. But nevertheless, I think I agree with you. It's been an interesting IPL. Been more one-sided than we're used to normally because we're so used to, kind of, at this point of the season, we're pulling out calculators, trying to calculate net run rates, trying to calculate how many runs does a team need to win by how many wickets, how many balls do they need to chase down a target in. And this year, there's been none of that. Like it's just been you either win, you go to top two, you go top four, or you go home. And it's been a very simplified IPL, but at the same time, it's also been kind of what do you say, a little lackluster as opposed to other years in terms of the competition. There's been a
Mhm.
huge gap between the top of the table and the bottom of the table.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah,
So when we spoke about how CSK would fare this IPL,
yeah,
I was confident that they wouldn't qualify, and I think it made you sad as well when I said both fans of CSK,
right.
we've been loyal fans to them, and still we predicting them not to qualify was kind of downer.
Yeah,
But yes, it was supposed to happen. If you bank on nostalgic moments, nostalgia merchants, this is is going to happen.
right.
That is when they realized in the second phase of the tournament is start giving chances to youngsters, throw them in the fire, let them survive. And they've done brilliantly. I'm happy that the youngsters have put up a show and shown the oldies of CSK saying, we're here to take the legacy forward. Once Ruturaj, our captain, is back, we're going to show what a CSK side is. I'm very happy with that fact.
So CSK, I mean, I think before we've even mentioned, we've dived straight into the team reviews.
Uh-huh.
CSK, we're talking about CSK. We're gonna go from the bottom down, bottom to the top. CSK finishing the first ever bottom placed finish, 8 points, 4 wins. 10 losses in there, not something that CSK is normally used to. They have finished second last on net run rate in 2022 with the same number of wins and number of losses. Um,
Correct.
but there is a lot of positivity going out of the season with the fact that we found three very nice young cricketers in Ayush Matre, Deval Brevis, and Urvil Patel, and also the likes of Noor Ahmed having a great season. The likes of Khalil Ahmed had a decent season as well. Anshul Kamboj is an interesting talent for the future. So there's a lot of bright spots in a very, very paltry season that CSK had. And for a lot of the season, they just weren't able to hit a six, man. Like, they just weren't able to hit a six. And
Uh-huh.
you could clearly see that the game has moved beyond CSK. Like, this would have
Mhm.
been maybe a decent side in 2011, 2012, but, the game
Absolutely.
has moved far beyond. 220 is no longer the mammoth total that it used to be. 180 is no longer, a great total. It's in fact, it's a very low total these days. 180 is low, right? Which
Mhm.
CSK did not essentially, they didn't bring the team that could compete in a 2025 IPL, which was very clear
Correct.
from game one. And the fact that they invested so heavily in Rahul Tripathi to open the innings, which was a big blunder in my opinion. I don't know why
Mhm.
Ruturaj was not opening.
Mhm.
Rahul Tripathi at best has been his best at number three, but they
Mhm.
wanted to go back to the Pune Super Giants of 2017 model, which is like, dude, it's 8 years ago. Look, how is
Mhm.
that model gonna work again, Flem? Like, come on. But anyways, they invested in Deepak Huda, they invested in Vijay Shankar. None of it worked out. Rachin Ravindra had a very poor season. Devon
Mhm.
Conway barely got game time, but even when he did, he was not that great. Um,
Mhm.
and of course, Guys like Sam Curran also had a very off season. The bowlers, and especially Ashwin and Jadeja, had very off seasons as well. But yes, a lot of positivity to take out of the season. I do want to ask you the big question that everybody wants to know is it time for MSD? Is it time?
It was time for it when they last won the championship, but I think the fans won't agree with me. But as a true CSK fan, I would have said that his time was when he held the cup in his hand. So it was way beyond his time. Even though he performs, I don't think IPL is the way to go. You need youngsters to take your places up. I mean, a person like Andre Siddharth could have had a previous season, and he could have been settled by now. So we never know. So maybe it was time for him to go way back, and more youngsters could have come in.
So the funny thing is, like, they said Ruturaj was gonna be he's the leader. We're gonna back him, right?
Mhm.
At the start of 2024, he had a decent 2024. Yes, they didn't qualify. They missed out on that last day against RCB. This
Yep.
season, a completely horrible showing of captaincy, giving
Mhm.
Ashwin, the sort of the power play overs. He's
Mm,
clearly not able to bowl in the power play. He's going for too many runs.
right.
And his the strategizing from CSK was poor, but MS Dhoni still was the best wicket keeper in the tournament, and he still was one of the highest one of the best power hitters in the tournament, even though he wasted a lot of balls in the middle. At least towards the
Correct.
end, in the last 5 overs, he was getting a lot of runs, but still, he was coming in at those when you need 100 from 20 balls or 80 from 15 or something like that. It just wasn't the right timing for MS Dhoni to come in. But in my opinion, I agree with you. Dhoni should have left in 2023, which is a big statement to
Mm.
make as a CSK fan. How can you say that MSD has to leave? How can you say that? But sometimes I mean, time moves on. I think the game has moved on from MS Dhoni's style of cricket, his style of captaincy. Um, if he's fit enough, will he 100% continue next season? I mean, CSK is in a tricky spot where they can't let go of him because he's just too important a brand figure to the franchise that you can't let go of him no matter what, right? But
Correct.
um, the uncapped player, MS Dhoni, he
Mhm.
played very much like an uncapped player, to be honest, like an
Mhm.
uncapped player who
Mhm.
doesn't know what's going on in his first
Mhm.
IPL season.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I don't know. If he wants to play, he'll play. But in my opinion, he's more of a liability at this point than he is, a sort of a guiding figure or somebody I'd want to have in that dressing room. Uh,
Right.
so we'll have to wait and watch on MS Dhoni. But I just want to ask you, before we wrap on CSK, one player you thought was one player you really liked from CSK and you thought was a fantastic signing or a fantastic player throughout the season, and one thing you want for them to change next season.
Right. So one fantastic pick was getting Deval Brevis in the middle of the season.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, somebody from the scouting would have taken this point and they got him finally.
Right.
And the way he performed, he looked absolute CSK unit.
Yeah.
He was the guy who would be a perfect suitable for the middle order CSK wanted. So
Right.
that was one great buy. And next step for CSK is to like free up their auction purse,
Mm-hmm.
release the senior players, ensure you get a big purse of at least 20 to 25 crores, get Cameron Green in the next season.
Mm.
That will win you two titles back to back, if you ask. So that would be my next title.
Interesting, interesting. It'll be interesting to see how CSK strategizes from here because the MS
Mhm.
Dhoni question is there, the Ashwin question is there, the Jadeja question is there. Are they going to keep faith in Rachin and Devon Conway? Are they going to keep faith in people like Tripathi, Huda, Shankar? Because we know CSK historically has kept faith in their players. That's what they
Yes.
do very well. But this year, it's been all the replacements that have done well, and all the
Mm.
old signings have been pretty average. So
Right.
it'll be interesting to see how CSK moves on from there. We'll have to
Mhm.
wait and watch. But job to go back a lot to look back at on the drawing board for Fleming and Co. And Gaikwad when he comes in will be interesting to see. We'll
Mhm.
move on to the next team, Rajasthan Royals. Man, Rajasthan Royals. How did they had so many moments where you thought this team is really good and very talented, and they bottled so many games. Like they bottled probably 4 or 5 games where they should have won.
Right. Mhm.
But even despite that, they still won 4 games, right?
Right.
And you had so much like unknown talent coming into the season.
Mhm.
You had youngsters like Vaibhav Suryavanshi. You had return guys like Nitish Rana coming in and playing their innings.
Mhm.
Dhruv Jurel also had a decent season, but it is it is a bowling that ultimately let them down, right?
Mhm.
In Archer and Hasranga and Tikshana and
Right.
the Tushar Deshpande, but um,
Mhm.
I wonder how to I really wonder how can we talk about Rajasthan's season, in a nuanced way.
Correct. So, like you said, they bottled around five matches, which literally they were going to win, Krishna.
Yeah.
So that was not at all expected from them because the seniority of all the players, they should have easily like won those matches and they could have gone to eliminators with the side they had.
Right.
Second thing, I always used to joke about Sanju Samson. So it was always at the beginning of the season where he scores bulk of the runs, and later he disappears, and that's where Rajasthan downfall happens. But this time, even that didn't happen. So that was a very big anomaly for them. Third thing was Riyan Parag. I thought the last season's attitude would carry over and he would be scoring runs, but nowhere was it seen in the captaincy, nowhere was it seen in his batting, and nowhere was it seen in the field. So obviously, those all were the factors that led to their downfall. And I always was critical about Shimron Hetmeyer. The guy has loads of talent, but was never. It never delivered during the right time. During crunch matches, when he was supposed to deliver, that's when he failed. So who would you bank on? So there was no foreign players to bank on. There were no good bowlers to bank on. Archer was as very low point. So all they could was to bank on bowlers like Hasaranga and Tikshana. Man, a team like CSK released Tikshana. Imagine how he's gone. A team like RCB released Hasaranga. He's gone. So why pick those players and rely on them? So those are all the factors I'd say something led to downfall of Rajasthan.
They spent so much money on Archer. They spent a lot of. They let go of Joss Butler at the start of the season,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm just
Mm-hmm.
wondering how do you do that, man? Because their loss was Gujarat's gain. But anyways, we'll get to Gujarat later. But
Mm-hmm.
Archer, right? They spent a lot of money on Archer. Was he worth the money? I mean, if he played every game, sure, but he didn't play every game. He was injured for a few
Mm-hmm.
games. He was very lackluster in a lot of games. Archer is not the Archer of 2020 that we saw in 2019 and 20. He's not that Archer anymore. He's not been that Archer in international cricket, let alone IPL cricket. Um,
Correct.
and their bowling let them down, but also in the games where they bottled it, it was their lower order batting that bottled it for them. Like Shimron Hetmeyer, guys like Kunal Singh Rathore, Shubham Dubey, they had a few blistering moments, but they just couldn't get over the line because and that Delhi game they were chasing 8 of the last over and Mitchell Stark
Yep.
defended it and we went to a
Yes.
super over. Lucknow Super Giants, they should have won that 25 from 3 overs or something, right?
Yes.
Against RCB also they were like in a prime position to beat them in
Winning position.
Bangalore and they completely bottled it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Giving RCB their first win at home, by the way, that match. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I don't know. It's hard to look at at Rajasthan season and say they performed extremely badly. Like this team didn't deserve to be ninth, for sure.
Correct.
I mean, the way they played, they had a lot of moments where you thought, okay, this is a good team.
Mm-hmm.
Vaibhav Suryavanshi, that 100, what an innings! First ball in his career, he's 14 years of
Correct.
age, comes and hits a six in his first
Mm-hmm.
ever ball in an
Mm-hmm.
IPL, in the IPL, one of the biggest stages in world cricket, right? He comes and hits a six, and you're wondering how is this team not like even contesting. But I mean, the fact that they let go of Ashwin, they let go of Chahal, they let go of Butler, like these are
Mm-hmm.
big pillars of Rajasthan Royals for the longest
Mm-hmm.
time, and they let go of them. I think that hurt them, and also the fact that I think the fact that Sanju Samson didn't captain and Riyan Parag was at the helm and he was completely looking out of sorts with captaincy. I
Right.
think that also really hurt them. But I think
Mm-hmm.
they have enough positives for next year. It seems
Mm-hmm.
like Rajasthan will do a decent job next year.
Mm-hmm.
But again, um, I think it's a season that has gone begging.
Mm-hmm. I think to conclude, like one positive thing from their side would be Vaibhav Suryavanshi.
Hmm.
I mean, people say he might be older. Okay, I'll give him a buffer of 4 or 5 years, but
It
still
doesn't
at the
matter.
age
It
of
doesn't
19,
matter. It really doesn't
exactly.
matter.
Exactly. Being 19 and hitting such shots is unbelievable. It's something out of the earth. And I think I wish him all the best, man. He's our future, if you ask me. I mean, the way he was hitting. And few changes that Rajasthan I feel is like bulk up your middle order, get few more foreigners. Don't rely on Shimron Hetmeyer anymore. And Dhruv Jurel is more of an anchor. You don't rely on him finishing innings. You just keep little pressure on him. He's just going to rotate here and there. You just bank on other foreigners to finish the game.
I think they've got to let go of Hetmeyer. I think Hetmeyer hits
Yes,
one
I,
one
I feel he's on.
he hits one innings every 30 games, and that one innings also doesn't take them over the line. So
Right,
a complete waste of money in my opinion. They also have
right.
this interesting guy called Luandre Pretorius,
Uh-huh.
who's done well in other domestic T20 leagues.
Mhm.
Has a very handsy player, very risky player.
Mhm.
Can play.
Isn't he the guy who would bowled for a six on the leg side? Same guy?
I don't remember. I don't remember. But
Okay, I'll send you the video later.
yeah, but they have interesting options. It'll be interesting how they retain. Very quickly
Mhm.
before we wrap up, best. So you said Vaibhav Suryavanshi. I'm assuming
Yep,
the and
absolutely.
one change you want to see.
Yeah, kick out Shimran Hetmeyer, get a better middle order batsman who's going to finish games for you.
Cool. All right, that concludes Rajasthan. We move to number 8. The the winners of last year, how they let go of their captain at the start of the season. They let go of their best bowler Mitchell Stark, and they got in a captain that they bought at the last minute who went unsold.
Mm-hmm.
Ajinkya Rane for 1.5 crores, and they paid 23.75 crores for Venkatesh Iyer. Um, this team just, I don't know, it has talent, but they never got it going, and it just didn't work out this season at all.
Man, if you hit the points table from me and ask me which team performed shittier between CSK and KKR, I'd point out KKR as a more shittier team.
Wow. Mm.
Absolutely. I mean, the way they performed, even the points table didn't deserve their place. Okay, the points might show they're upper. I mean, above us, but
Mm-hmm.
still, their bowling was shitty. Their middle order batting was shitty as well. Because last season, if you look, they've always relied on Russell, Ramandeep, and Rinku.
Mm.
All those three have been flops.
Yep.
If the batting flopped, at least Sunil Narayan and Chakravarti used to perform.
Right.
Now again, all the batsmen are ready to pick their variations. All of them got belted throughout the park.
Right.
Now, whom are you going to rely on?
Mm.
You get a guy like Decock, you don't get him to play all the games. That's your mistake. A captain like Ajinkya Rana is going to play for you. Maybe 120, 130 strike rate, but is he your go-to player for such critical matches?
Mm.
Not at all. Even CSK realized that way too late and they released him. Now, who else is left? The $1 million guy, Venki Iyer, he hasn't performed a single game. So it's always the pressure was always onto them, defending champions, and I think it took a toll on them, and they couldn't perform the next successive season.
I mean, everybody last year was criticizing Shreyas Iyer, saying, okay, he didn't really contribute that much. They just had a really good
Uh-huh.
squad. Shreyas Iyer's
Mm.
captaincy was not that important for KKR's
Mhm.
win. You take him out and look what's happened. You take out a
Yep.
Mitchell Stark and look what's happened. Like, they've
Yep.
lost. And at the auction, we said, why wouldn't you retain Shreyas Iyer? Like,
Exactly.
they retained Ramandeep, they retained Harshit, they retained all these players at
Mm.
whatever, and then they spent so much. You're telling me you couldn't have maybe given up one of those two, Harshit, Ramandeep, whoever, and retained
Correct.
Shreyas if you really wanted, to spend 25 crores or somebody and retain, you could have retained
Mhm.
Shreyas Iyer for 25 crores,
Exactly.
right?
Mhm.
You didn't have to spend all that money on Venki Iyer, which just didn't make.
Mhm.
I thought Venki Iyer would captain because they're giving him so
Mhm.
much money, but he didn't
Yep.
end up captaining. He didn't really end up playing also this season.
Mhm.
But again, that's a start. That's I think that's a big part of where they lost it. But
Mhm.
even on the field, like their batting, they just could never sort out their batting order at all. Ankarish Raghuvanshi, who was so good last season, he was
Mhm.
just wondering, what the hell am I doing here, right?
Right.
Venkatesh Iyer is at 4, at 5. Russell and Narayan are there, but then they're now they didn't have the seasons that they had last year, so they're kind of
Mm.
wondering, what is happening? Who's gonna score
Yep.
runs? Like who's gonna buy runs for us? And they just
Yep.
didn't know where the runs were coming from. Manish
Mhm.
Pandey also is like, I think he's like 3-4 years past it, and
Mhm.
they're still kind of continuing with him. Quinton de Kock is again like he's kind of also past it at this point. Gurbaz is there, but is he really there? And if you ask yourself in KKR, at the start of the season and versus now at the end of the season, how much has changed? Have they gotten any bright spots from the season? Have they gotten anything to work with for next year's auction? The answer is no. You're still stuck in the
No.
same loop. You're still stuck in the same loop. Where is Rinku gonna bat? Where is Ramandeep gonna
Mm.
bat? Harshit Rana, Vaibhav Vora, do we continue with them? Where are we gonna get a
Mhm.
keeper from? Does Rahane
Mm.
captain next year? So all these
Mhm.
massive questions, and they're unanswered from the start of the season till now. And we
Mm.
are wondering what the hell are they gonna do next year?
Absolutely. Like you said, they have no answers. Even if they go back to the drawing board, they're stuck with the team, and they'll have to. I mean, all of them have to be informed to perform. So I mean, if you ask me, one positive was their captain Ajinkya Rahane.
Mm-hmm.
After a bad season in CSK, I was sure nobody's going to pick him, but KKR did pick him. I mean, trusted him, put some faith in him to captain the team, and he's done well for his part because he contributed in every match. He played with good strike rate as well, so I think that was one bright sign for them. And if you ask me, more changes for them, get a bowler like Stark in the next auction. Don't rely on Russell anymore. He's done. Like how Shea says he's Puss, he's not Russ. So, yep, that's KKR for you.
They struggled. I mean, they tried out Spencer Johnson in that role. He never lived up to the
Uh-huh.
hype. They said, oh, he's the next Mitchell Stark. I
Mm.
don't think he's even the next Andrew Ty. Forget Mitchell
Yes.
Stark. I mean, Andrew Ty won a purple cap by the way in
Uh-huh.
2018.
Yep.
Um, and then they had Norkia was like out of it for a while, and he came back. He
Mm.
was not really amazing or anything, and they're still looking for bowlers. Like I mean, the only
Mm.
decent positive they had was that Narayan and Varun Chakravarti's bowling is still good, but besides
Mm.
that, it's the same. And you still don't like. Why are you batting Ramandeep at 9? Why are you batting
Yep.
Rinku at like 8?
Mm.
You know, Venki Iyer, in my opinion, Venki Iyer should be opening the innings. How much longer can you try the Sunil Narayan experiment and expect it to work? It's coming off
Right.
once every like 10 seasons. Like how
Correct.
many times is it gonna work? And how are you gonna utilize Russell from here on? Because if the season, I've noticed if KKR is doing well, then Russell is good. If KKR
Mm.
doesn't do well, Russell is struggling.
Mm.
So Russell performs as the team performs. So
Right.
you need to figure out a way to get those parts moving and really sort out that batting order and sort out that fast bowling department. Otherwise, you're in
Mm.
big trouble. Big trouble. Um,
Absolutely.
but I guess that wraps on KKR. Um, we'll move on to yesterday's losers. Uh, the Lucknow Super Giants finishing seventh. They could have finished sixth. They could have overtaken SRH on the table yesterday. They should have. They completely botched it. Spent a mammoth 27 crores on Rishabh Pant, and everybody thought, oh my god, Sanjeev Goenka, you're such a smart guy. Look at you outsmarting everybody for Rishabh Pant.
Mm.
And, he retained a lot of these young Indian core fast bowlers, and they
Mm.
still had to get some from outside because they're all injured. and
Correct.
then, he spent on Marsh, Mitchell, Markram, Pooran. It looked like a side that had two very glaring halves,
Mhm.
a very good top five, a decent Indian bowling core, but it just never kind of came together, you know. And Rishabh Pant was at the center of it, and we don't know if his season was good or not. Now that he got the 100, we still don't
Mm.
know if the 27 crores was worth it.
Correct. I mean, LSG, as I said, like you said, had two halves. The batting was an absolute unit. They were all bulls: Mitchell Marsh, Pooran, Aiden Markram, Rishabh Pant. But again, some where their batting performed, their bowling like gave away. Where whenever their bowling performed, the batting gave away. So I cannot pinpoint at one aspect of their team. But if you ask me, a guy like Mitchell Marsh performed after 11 seasons. I still remember when first he was picked for Deccan Chargers way back. I got to know that, oh, Sean Marsh has a brother now, and he is an all rounder as well. I was happy for Hyderabad, but again, he never performed in Deccan Chargers. He was in Delhi Capitals as well. Very bad season, and somehow LSG pick him, and here is where he performs. He shows why he is called the Bison. He's hit huge sixes, huge runs, and yeah, I mean, a guy like him would obviously bolster your batting. In spite of this, no hopes on Aiden Markram, but the way he performed was very, very impressive. I mean, the humiliation he got in SRH, where he was dropped, people I mean, criticizing him on his captaincy, on his batting as well. But the way he came back, performed as a perfect opener, playing second fiddle to Mitchell Marsh was very great for me. And I wouldn't pinpoint Rishabh Pant's bad performance because it was expected from him to give short-lived innings only. Never was anybody putting hopes on his long innings or anything like that. But again, yes, as a captain, he could have done a little bit better, have control over his bowling options, his bowling changes. But I think that is where LSG lost. Pant's captaincy and his wicket keeping made a big mess.
I mean, I would say more than, yeah, Pant's captaincy, of course, needs a lot of work. I don't know if he's the guy. I mean, Sanjeev Goenka said Pant is gonna come in the names. He's gonna be in the history,
Mhm.
with Dhoni and Rohit and
Mhm.
all that, which was a
Mhm.
big talk, all talk, but no results.
Mhm.
And you know, Pant also throughout the entire season on the field, he looked like a fish out of water. He just didn't
Uh-huh.
really understand what he was doing. I
Mhm.
think he had his own. LSG had their own management issues with Sanjeev Goenka, with Justin Langer there, Rishabh Pant. It just really never really came together. And all those injuries, Mayank Yadav. I mean, without those injuries, that fast bowling lineup looks like a gun lineup. right?
Mm-hmm.
Mayank Yadav, Mohsin Khan, Avesh Khan, Akash Singh, Prince Yadav had a good season. You have guys and Shardul Thakur is there, and then the spin bowling, Digvesh Rathi had a very good season.
Right.
Digvesh Rathi was fined, but also a bit of an asshole. But Digvesh Rathi is there. You have Ravi Bishnoi, Shahbaz Ahmed. It looked like a decent side. It looked like a side that might challenge. I had them finishing last, but if all the parts work together, it could have challenged. But
Correct.
just so much, I think the manage more than the players. It was the leadership group and the management that let them down, and
Right.
they just didn't have answers, for that. So I think they need to fix that next year.
Correct, absolutely. So, if you ask me one positive sign, I think even though Digvesh Shetty was an asshole for the team and for everyone else, I like this guy because he's somebody who's got balls of steel.
Yeah.
You would really want to fight against folks and still take wickets, still go for runs, and you're still okay with that.
Right.
I'm absolutely going for this guy. That was one positive thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
And improvements, if you ask me, I think their batting is beautiful. No need to tinker with that. Just get a good foreign bowling option who could, complement your rest of your bowling lineup. And once Pant gets back to his form, I think he'll do well as well. So those are a few things I'd go for improvements.
Yeah, I think we'll have to see how they pan out next season. But they have something to work
Uh-huh.
with, unlike KKR. They have something to work
Right.
with.
Mm-hmm.
So you answered what is the best. I mean, you said Digvesh was one of the big positives.
Digvesh was my positive sign.
And
Yeah.
what is the thing you want them to change next season?
I think they'll need to get a foreign bowler, a fast bowler, or a spinner who could complement the rest of the bowling lineup. And if Ravi Bishnoi can get back to form, I think it'll be a complete line.
I think more for me, I would probably say that Indian bowlers, they need to figure out a way to keep them fit. Because I mean, Mayank Yadav playing 2-3 games every season and then going out is just a guy
Right.
of that level of of caliber and potential going out in 2-3 seasons. We saw it with Umran Malik. I don't want to see it with Mayank Yadav, man. I just
Mm-hmm.
don't. But Mohsin Khan also a fantastic bowler. Again, he's
Yep.
also missing. So I think they need to figure out a way to keep their bowlers fit, or the bowlers themselves need to figure out a way to keep themselves fit for the IPL for the entire year or so, because you're challenging to play for India. If you're getting
Correct.
injured after 2 T20 matches, how are you going to play for India? There's no
Exactly.
chance.
Yep.
So
And imagine people telling him he'll be there in the Border Gavaskar Trophy, especially
yeah,
Mayank Yadav.
yeah.
So, never going to happen.
Yeah. I'll have to wait and watch on LSG. Moving
Yep.
on to your home team. Well, at least
Mm.
your home city's team.
Mm-hmm.
Sunrisers Hyderabad, last year's runner-up. This
Mm-hmm.
year, got some changes. Everybody picked them to be in the top four. I had them in my top four. I
Mm-hmm.
think there was no reason that we could see on paper as to why this team would not qualify. But they figured out a way to not qualify. And it
Right.
still racks my brain. Because they finished all right. They won their last 3 games or something. And they finished on 6th place. But the personal changes, losing guys like Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, but still, most of the team was still the same.
Yep.
But the bowling lineup kind of suffered. And the batting also kind of suffered this season. Travis Shake was not the Travis Shake of last year.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't understand what happened to the SRH this year.
Exactly. So if you look at last season, they were consistently hitting these 200 plus scores. And I felt the same was with this season as well. They never backed out of their attacking instincts. They were scoring they were going all guns blazing, and they kept posting huge totals. More than one or more occasions. But I remember last year, whenever things were going against them, Patrick Cummins used to come in, bowl a 1 hour spell, get you 2 wickets or so. But this time, the same thing hasn't happened for him. He's been going for runs. He hasn't been positive in his captaincy also. And that's where the bowling has suffered too. They've tried bringing in multiple folks to enhance this bowling. That hasn't worked. It was always, we always thought that these guys are going for 300 and leaving bowling to the gods. But I don't think it worked for them. So they should have bowled better, at least have more control in their home ground. But that is where I think it lacked.
It's interesting to me that a bowling lineup that boasted of Pat Cummins, Mohammad Shami, Harshal Patel, Adam Zampa, Rahul Chahar. This was the five. These were the big five that we were talking about.
Yes.
Like we
Yes.
thought, okay, they have the bowling this year also to do it, and of course the batting: Ishan Kishan, Nitish Reddy, Travis Shake. You've got, and then to add to that, they had Abhinav Manohar and Aniket Verma who had a decent season.
Uh-huh.
They had Atharva
Yes.
Taide also, who could also play a little bit. But the two names that we're thinking about at the end of the season are two uncapped players in that lineup who are, Zishan Ansari and Harsh Dubey, right?
Correct.
Harsh Dubey and also Ishan Malinga, guys who didn't start in anybody's first 11, right?
Correct.
We are talking about these guys and saying these guys are gonna lead SRH, are gonna do well for SRH next year. Meanwhile, what do we do about Shami? What do we do about Zampa? What do we do about Rahul Chahar? What are we gonna do about
Right.
Simarjeet Singh? What are we gonna do about Unadkat? I mean, like, we don't know like what's gonna happen now, like with SRH. Is Unadkat still there? I don't know if he's still there.
Yeah, he was there in the
He was there.
matches.
Yeah, sorry, Unadkat is still there. Yeah, so we're wondering like what like people again with like similar to CSK, guys who aren't a part of the main core come out and they
Yes.
just do well, but the main core
Exactly.
is still like struggling. Ishan Kishan
Right.
got the 100, got the 90, disappeared for the rest of the season. Abhishek
Yes.
Sharma got that 1 century, brilliant innings against Punjab, disappeared for the rest of the season. Travis Head, similar story. I think he got an 80 or something, disappeared. So it's clear to me that if Travis Head and Isha and if the top three don't fire, right, they don't know how to figure out a way out of that. Even though there's Klassen in there, there's Ishan Kishan in
Exactly.
there, there's Nitish Reddy in there. How? What? It makes no sense.
Mhm. I think opposition bowlers have totally figured out how to break the partnership of Travis Head and Abhishek. Obviously, they now know how to bowl hard lengths to these folks, not just give it in the slot so that they'll just pile up these sixes. I think that's where the oppositions have become a better at this part. And one disappointing thing was Nitish Reddy not contributing. I think it's the pressure that got to him after the BGT 100. That is where people have hyped him. Uh, Channels have run stories. All these expectations are onto you. That is common. But a talented guy like him needs to find a way to come out of all of this. Ensure that your Indian performance doesn't go bad, because since the next series of England is coming up, you'll have to stay focused. IPL, it's okay. It's a 50-50 lottery thing. So ensure that your performances don't go down. Yeah, like you said, a guy like Ansari, Ishan Malinga, all of these guys perform. And when you see seniors not performing, that is where I think SRH needs to put more focus on.
Yep. It's interesting how SRH is also going to react to this because the squad looks fine. I mean, the names look
Yes.
fine. It's somewhere the management is just not working out for them. Or I think if they're too reliant on the top three, so they need to figure out a way to boost the middle order. Even though they have the pedigree in the middle order, it's not a bad middle order at all. Just need to
Yes.
boost it a little and maybe give it more legs. Um,
Mhm.
but it'll be interesting to see how SRH react. Would you get rid of Shami? I don't know. Is Shami done in the IPL? I don't know. Should Harshal Patel go? He was decent for them. He wasn't bad. Um, Unadkat, he was also pretty decent for them.
Mhm.
Cummins has never been amazing in the IPL, but he wasn't bad either.
Correct.
But because he's captain, you can't say anything.
Yes.
But
Correct.
Does Zampa go now? Zampa goes maybe. Maybe Rahul Chahar
Yes.
goes. We don't know. But yeah, one change you'd like from SRH next year and one positive you've seen.
I think, okay, let me start with the changes. So even if they kick out Zampa and Rahul Chahar, I don't think that will free up their purse. So I think it's better for them to rely on Ansari, get him to develop as a better spinner, and he'll be your go-to bowler whenever you need a breakthrough. And one positive sign was Aniket Verma. Nobody knew him. He came straight away, started hitting sixes and impressed everyone else. So I think he has to take it forward in the domestic season as well, and he'll be a great player going forward.
Interesting. SRH still throwing up, talents, even though it was a season that heavily relied on their mainstays.
Correct.
We'll move on to the team that was really doing well for a long time in the
Mm-hmm.
tournament. They just bottled it, completely
Mm-hmm.
bottled it. You know what this team reminds me of Punjab Kings of the previous years, where they would win like 5 or 6 in a row
Uh-huh.
and then they'd lose like the last 7.
Mm-hmm.
Or Rajasthan Royals also would have had similar kind of path over the last
Mm-hmm.
2-3 years. I read a meme recently. I saw this meme recently that people are saying Shreyas Iyer was so great, he's taken 3 teams to the playoffs, but Akshar
Uh-huh.
Patel single-handedly took 3 other teams to the playoffs.
Playoffs. Yes.
You know he sent 3 other teams to the playoffs. But Delhi, man, Delhi, dude, like they were doing so well. KL Rahul, this is the year for KL Rahul.
Mm-hmm.
This is the year for, Akshar Patel, for Kuldeep. It looked good. It was looking really good.
Mm-hmm.
Mitchell Stark was in there. You had Mitchell Stark. You had Vipraj Nigam. The first match, Ashutosh Sharma and Vipraj Nigam created this insane, what a
Mm-hmm.
blockbuster of a match against
Correct.
and they
Yes.
were winning games out of absolutely nowhere. They won, I think, three,
Uh-huh.
4 games They were
Yes,
they were
4 out of 4.
snatching victory out from like clear defeat positions,
Mm, mhm.
and they just found a way to throw it away, and they got pushed out of the top five, and now they're wondering where the hell what happened to our season? Why did we lose so many games?
Absolutely. I think this was the team I thought was there to make a statement, winning 4 straight games out of 4, putting up great performances and bottling it at the end. I think this was a pattern which the IPL always had. Like few small teams start bringing up surprises in the initial tournaments and bottle it down at the end. And that is when the senior teams picked up. And this pattern was always there. I observed that. So in addition to that, it was KL Rao's IPL this time. He chose to play in the middle order sometimes. He chose to open the innings. I understand that is because of the team combination. But yes, it was his season to perform, but somehow he didn't end up being the top scorer. Then again, they had to rely on their bowling. Somehow Kuldeep disappointed. Then at least we thought, okay, the finishers could probably help in every match. But again, Ashutosh played one match and he disappeared again. Somewhere, the foreigners didn't perform. By the time they kicked out Jake Fraser McGurk, it was too late for them. So they couldn't understand what kind of combination would help them to build a perfect team until the eliminators come on. But now they realize they're not even there for the eliminators. So I think it was a missed opportunity for them. It was their best chance to pick up a trophy with such a team. But yes, hopefully next year is what I feel.
It's hard. I mean, it's hard. You could see in the start of the season, Akshar Patel is like, he's joking around with the commentators, and did you feel anxious at any point? He's like, what are you talking about? Like, and then later on, like, all the banter stopped, and you're just
Yes.
wondering what happened. Even now,
Mm,
I'm just wondering where did the wheels fall off for Delhi,
mm,
because it looked good.
mm,
It looked great.
mm.
Like KL
Correct.
Rahul was, but again, the over reliance on KL Rahul clearly showed up towards the end of the season.
Mm,
Samir Rizvi got that one innings against Punjab towards the end, but
yes.
still it wasn't enough because they
Mm,
got pummeled by Mumbai. I think the
mm.
losses also were quite big. They had very
Correct.
big losses to two losses to Mumbai. They lost to
Mm,
RCB in a game they should have won. Um,
yes.
and even though KL Rahul had the return game in Bangalore, he scored that 90 odd.
Yes. Mm.
And did the whole thing with the bat, the bat circle thing.
Celebration.
Yeah.
Mm,
They lost the crucial game in Delhi, which they should have won,
mm,
to
mm.
Krunal Pandya's 70, which nobody thought would ever
Yes.
happen.
Exactly.
But even then, I think Delhi, the bowling somehow looks worse than it did at the start of the season, even though it's the
Mm-hmm.
same lineup, right?
Mm,
Mukesh Kumar at the start of the season was looking all right, but now
mm,
he's looking completely out of form. Natarajan was very very off color. We don't know whether Natarajan will return.
mm,
Kuldeep, like you said, was not at all. He was nowhere in the picture. Vipraj Nigam started well, but then he gave away too many runs towards the end. Akshar Patel also started really well, gave away too many runs. Faf Duplessis, does he continue next year? He looked completely out of it this year.
mm,
Completely
mm,
out of it. I think Krishnamacharya Srikanth said his batting is like him trying to hit a bunch of mosquitoes.
mm.
That's what.
Swatting flies.
Yeah, swatting flies. Yeah, Faf Duplessis again. So towards the end, it just became this: will KL Rahul win it for us or not? Right.
Correct.
Porel also was very off color this season.
Mm, mm,
Karun Nair had two good games, but it
mm.
didn't
He disappeared.
capitalize. Didn't
Uh-huh.
capitalize. So you're wondering like Delhi, how did they lose this? How do they? And they've missed the playoffs by 1 point at the end. It's just one
Correct.
point they missed out on. But
Absolutely.
I feel you, man. Like this is a season where Delhi could have taken it
Uh-huh.
home. And my friend, one of my friends who's a Delhi Capital supporter, he called me and he's like,
Mm-hmm.
"Bro, who do you at this? I think around the 20th or 30th game, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, bro, who do you think is gonna be the top four?" And I told him I don't think Delhi is gonna be in there because I think some injuries or something will happen with
Mm,
this team, and they'll
mm-hmm.
find a way to get out. And that's exactly what happened. So you can blame
Mm,
me, Delhi fans. I called
mm-hmm.
it.
Against it.
um, but yeah, last thoughts on Delhi, changes, positives.
I think their retentions were good, especially retaining a guy like Tristan Stubbs. But like you said, over reliance on Rahul and Tristan Stubbs caused their downfall. One positive sign was Vipraj Nigam, a guy who could hit and as well as bowl leg spin. I was quite impressed with that guy. And few changes I'd recommend is get your opening combination to be with a better foundation. You can't keep pushing Rahul to uncomfortable positions. When he said he wanted to play middle order, I think he was comfortable playing there. So just if Faf does not want to play, that's fine. Get a better foreigner who could open your innings. Time up with Abhishek Porel. I think that combination should do well for them.
Yeah, I think they used like 10 opening combinations or something this
Exactly.
season.
Yes.
So they
I
never
was
played that
surprised.
well.
I thought even Akshar Patel would come in someday, but luckily he didn't come opening.
Maybe Ashutosh will come in. Who knows? At
Mm.
the top of the order. But yeah,
Mhm.
Delhi Capitals again a very unfortunate season because they were doing so well. Now
Yes.
we'll move on to the playoff teams,
Mm.
and this is where the things are going to get interesting now. Number 4, Mumbai Indians started off a little. They always lose the first game. They always
As
lose the
usual.
first game. They had a very lackluster start. They were at like the
Mhm.
bottom for a while. Then I
Mm.
think that game against Delhi Capitals where they won and they won like 5 in a row or something, 4 or 5 in a row.
Yes. Yep.
And towards the end of end of the tournament, they were challenging for the top spot. In fact,
Correct.
right?
Yes.
Um, and I don't know if I can honestly say this team has come together, but I
Mm.
can't say I'm not scared of this team. So it's a very interesting feeling.
Right. So if you remember, I was the one who said Mumbai is going to come back, even win the championship, and even the Ambani said six. So I'm pretty sure they've done all the background work to get the sixth trophy on their hands. But yeah, jokes aside, man, such a good team, man. There was no reason for them to even start like that. Some of the best batting lineups Mumbai have ever had. Good finishers, good bowling attack as well with Bumrah back. So I always thought they were going to be the contenders for top four, anyways, even top two, to be honest. So yes, initially they start off very bad, then they come back, and now they'll have to ensure that they beat Gujarat in the eliminator to ensure that yes they get their hands on the cup. So Mumbai, I think I'm predicting them to go all the way to win the championship.
Interesting, interesting. I want to talk about the playoffs a little later, but
Okay.
Rickleton was very good for them. He
Yes.
played the Quinton de Kock of 2020. Very
Correct.
underrated role. It goes unsung, but he's done a great job and he's been fantastic with the
Mm-hmm.
gloves. He's been insane, incredible,
Mm-hmm.
amazing first season. But I mean, it is one man who's gotten the runs. It's Surya Kumar Yadav.
Sorry.
What an insane! I mean, if you look at the record, he's
Hmm.
gotten 25 plus in every game, which is
Uh-huh.
mind blowing. That
Correct.
level of consistency for a player as mercurial as Surya Kumar Yadav
Hmm.
is mind blowing. And the fact, I mean, but the so he's been one of the big positives. Rohit Sharma has been hit and miss. Will Jacks has been a hit and miss. Hardik Pandya has been hit and miss. Tilak Varma has not shown up yet in the season, but Surya Kumar Yadav has kept the ship afloat, right?
Absolutely.
At least in terms of the batting, but the bowling also.
Hmm.
You've got who the hell is Ashwini Kumar? Who the hell is Vignesh Puttur?
Hmm.
Why is Karan Sharma still playing?
Hmm.
All these questions. We
Correct.
got we've got answers, and it's been great. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I can't be mad. you know.
Mm-hmm. So to add to Surya Kumar's story, right?
Yeah,
So if you remember, his international tenure was kind of going bad.
yeah,
The runs were not coming. The innings were very bad,
yeah.
paltry. It's just because our other youngsters have been performing. We've been winning T20s. But for a guy to come back from such an international form to play here was absolutely great. I mean, every match, like you said, scoring 25 plus is not easy. And this is the highest number of runs he scored in any season. So I think, yes, he's going all guns blazing. He's like stitching the middle order together, even though Pandya's, the Tilaks are not performing. So he's the one who will be important in the playoffs as well. But one caution throwing to Mumbai is do not rely on him during the knockouts because every knockout he's been not great. So ensure the other players are sticking to their basics. Then that is when I think Mumbai is going to go ahead.
I want to talk about the bowling
Uh-huh.
also. Actually, but before I talk about the bowling, I want to talk about the captaincy and Hardik Pandya. Essentially,
Hmm.
last year we saw a massive, sort of anger and hatred towards Hardik Pandya with the whole captaincy situation with Rohit Sharma.
Hmm.
This
Hmm.
year, it seems to have been resolved.
Yep.
Um, and I think that was the main reason why they didn't qualify. But they had the squad last year. Um,
Yes.
Hardik Pandya, his season for me has been the fact that he's been able to kind of galvanize the side and been able to keep it stable. The team looks good. The dressing room, the environment seems good. I think the fact that he's done that is a massive positive from
Hmm.
last year. I think the T20 World Cup win also kind of helped in that. Um,
Yep.
so for just on that metric alone, Hardik Pandya has had a fantastic season. Um,
Hmm.
with the ball in the bat, he's not been great, but he's not been bad either. So it's been
Hmm.
a pretty stock standard season for Hardik Pandya. Your thoughts on
I
that?
think I think the way he played for Gujarat Titans was more of a responsible role. I
Mm-hmm.
think he should be doing the same for Mumbai Indians as well.
Okay, interesting.
Since Tilak hasn't been performing, let Hardik go get 2 down or 3 down.
Hmm.
Ensure that he stabilizes the innings, and later on people can just go slam bang T20. So,
Hmm. I think the problem with Tilak Verma is he needs to play 3. I think if he has
uh-huh.
to be as effective as he was for the Indian team in the last few
Hmm.
months and last
Right.
year also with Mumbai, I
Hmm.
think he has to play 3. The fact that they're playing Rickleton and Jax,
Correct.
or Jax has to go down, they kind of
Hmm.
have to change the batting order to accommodate Tilak at 3. But
Yes.
also
Yes.
Surya Kumar is there, and you can't waste his form
Correct.
at 3, at 4.
Exactly.
So
Uh,
I think now they'll figure that out with
correct.
Rickleton and Jax gone. But and I do want to touch upon that.
Hmm.
But yeah, Hardik Pandya playing that anchor role, interesting statement.
Hmm.
Maybe he might do it now that Rickleton and Jax are gone. He might do that
Hmm.
role in the
Yes.
playoffs. I want to talk about that bowling though.
Hmm.
Bumrah every year, a cheat code. What can we say? What more can we say about Bumrah that
Mm-hmm.
has not already been said?
Hmm.
Um, Trent Bolt has been decent. He's been good. He's given you a Trent Bolt season. He's not given you an amazing, like, phenomenal season, but he's given you an amazing season. He's given you a decent season.
Hmm.
Deepak Chahar has been slightly off color, but that has been completely offset by the arrival of Ashwani Kumar and
Correct.
Vignesh Puttur.
Photo.
These two guys. I looked at Mumbai's auction and I said they've got guys like Satyanarayan Raju. Who the hell is
Mm-hmm.
Krishnan Srijit? Who is Robin Mins? Who are
Uh-huh.
all these guys? They kind of took some time to figure out that piece of the puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
my God, have they found it out with Ashwani Kumar and Vignesh Puttur?
Correct.
What an two insane finds. Mumbai scouting team, you are the best.
Yes. Absolutely agree. I mean, Mumbai scouting team has always been great. Like finding some talents who are relatively unknown, and they spring up surprises every time you just throw him in the mix. So great, great. Kudos to them.
Ashwani Kumar takes 4 wickets in his first game. Vignesh Puttur has not played a T20 in his life.
Uh-huh.
And he's done so well. He picks up 3 wickets against CSK. He's done very
First
well.
match. Mm-hmm.
And the fact that Karan Sharma is what it took to turn
Mm.
around their entire season also means that Karan
Right.
Sharma is not at all gone yet. He's got a lot
Correct.
left to give.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the bowling looks good. I want to come to the Tilak Verma point we were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Um, now that now we'll talk about the playoffs, right? They play Gujarat in an
Mm-hmm.
eliminator. Um, we'll come to Gujarat next, but uh, the fact that they've lost a Jax, they've lost a Rickleton. Um, Now they've got in Bairstow, they've got Asalanka, I think they've got one more player. It's Gleason, Richard Gleason,
It's decent.
right? I really wonder how they're gonna fit the pieces of the puzzle together now,
Mm.
because of the fact that it's two massive changes
Mm-hmm.
at a very crucial juncture of the tournament. Their wicket
Mm-hmm.
keeper is changing. Bairstow is going to keep
Mm-hmm.
now.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that they've lost to Punjab, um, you know, in their last league stage match,
Okay.
I wonder how it's going to work out.
Mm-hmm. I think Bairstow would walk in straight into the team. He'll be
Yeah,
opening the innings and keeping as well.
right.
But I feel he'll complement if Rohit is going. He'll complement his innings as well. So if they get that start, I think there's no stopping Mumbai.
Mm,
But I feel the one part where they would lack is the spin bowling department.
mm,
I think GT is going to trump them over in their spinners.
mm,
People like Rashid Khan and Sai Kishore would bowl better than their counterparts. So if they could manage that small part, the eliminator is going to be theirs.
mm. Also, Aslanka comes in. He'll probably go down at 5 or 6. So you
Okay.
have Tilak Verma coming in at 3, or Surya
Three.
3, Tilak 4, Hardik 5, Aslanka 6. Well, that's how
Nice. Better.
that'll line up.
This looks better actually.
Yeah, that's probably how it'll line up. So it'll be interesting to see.
Mm.
But I'm fingers crossed on how they go.
Mm.
Wrapping up on the league stage. What are your positives and changes for next season with Mumbai?
Positives, I'd be saying it's Deepak Chahar on drugs. He
Hmm.
wasn't like that when he was playing in CSK.
Hmm.
He'd bowl 1 over, he'd cramp up, go back to the NCA. But here he's playing all these matches for Mumbai and he's performing well. That is where I think that's a positive sign for me. And changes, I'd say get better spinners.
Hmm.
I mean, you can nurture, you can blood Vignesh Puttur, but getting a senior player, a better spinner would probably help their course of the game.
I just remembered, speaking of spinners, we haven't talked about Mitch Santner. What an amazing season he's
Oh,
had.
oh, my bad.
How did we forget about Mitch Santner?
Oh,
He's
God.
been incredible,
Yes,
fantastic,
yes.
been
Uh-huh.
beautiful for them.
Hmm.
I don't know what else to say about Mitch Santner. The fact that he didn't get as many games for CSK still
Yeah.
keeps me up at night. But
6 years, 18 matches only. Imagine, man.
I'm,
Pathetic.
the fact I'm just happy that he's getting a game every match now,
Yes.
and
Yes.
he's done so well. I don't know his stats, but I'm sure they're amazing. Uh,
Huh.
Mitchell Santner, man, I think that might maybe just be enough to sort of match up to Gujarat's
Correct. Absolutely. Now I
spin
agree.
bowling.
Hmm.
But yeah, sorry, and you mentioned your changes and stuff. Now we'll move
Yeah,
on.
changes. I thought maybe. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, spinners, Indian spinners.
Correct.
Moving on to Gujarat Titans,
Mhm. Mhm.
were at the top of the table for a long time throughout the season.
Hmm.
Overall, still a very good season by every stretch of the imagination. It's a team that just does its job every day and does it well, and doesn't ask for too much praise or too much, applause. Uh, it has stars, but they go unnoticed.
Hmm.
And Shubman Gill, the new Test captain of India, uh, captaining this side for the second time. They missed out on playoffs last year. They didn't do well at all last year, but this year,
Mhm.
have they found it? And my God, have they found it? I mean, they've done really well.
Mhm.
What are your thoughts on Gujarat?
Absolutely. So, number one team for me, if you ask me,
Mm-hmm.
uh, a great top three.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, the top. I mean, the fourth batsman. Sorry, the West Indian. What was his name? I forgot.
Sherfane. Sherfane
Oh
Rathod.
yeah, Shafin. I love that guy, man. I
Hmm.
mean, playing him at number four was a boon to them.
Yeah.
But the match time all of them got was quite less. So I
Hmm.
think that is where people have realized, yes, get the top three, and the rest will fall like a pack of cards.
Hmm.
So if you remember the latter part of the season, that is where they started losing games because people realized if they can get the top order, that is the game for them.
Hmm.
And also their lackluster spin bowling from Rashid Khan. It was the poorest season for him when it came to wickets and economy. I think I think it's due to the injury. He's not been bowling well, or people have figured him out. So lot of things where their bowling has been susceptible. Prasid Krishna was a find for them.
Siraj
I mean,
also.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, Siraj went for many runs, but this is where Prasid stepped up.
Yep.
He showed his talent now. He's always been that guy who's gone for runs in the IPL, but this is the season where he's put up his cap and said, "Yes, I'm going to bowl like a proper fast bowler," and he's shown that for them. So
Hmm.
these were the positives for them.
Sai Kishore also did really well
Hmm.
for them.
Hmm.
Uh, I think Gujarat is a very interesting side to me because I had them in my top four. I thought they would qualify, and I'm happy that prediction came right. Um,
Hmm.
but now, even now at the eliminator stage, I don't know if they're going to make it to the
Hmm.
top four, to the final,
Hmm.
right? They've also lost. Butler had a great season as well. It's like Shubman Gill, Sai Sudarshan, and Butler are competing for that orange cap, and they've just been trading
Third.
like responsibility.
Uh-huh.
Like, okay, today I'll finish, today you finish, today he'll finish,
Yes.
right? And then there were the obscure one or two games where Shah Rukh Khan finished it. Washington
Correct.
Sundar also did it once.
Against
I
SRH.
against and RCB if I'm not wrong.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
But I think I said that Washington Sundar will go up the order.
Okay.
I got that right, but I wanted to see more of Washington Sundar at five. They
Hmm.
also lost Glenn Phillips, which I was like, why are you not playing Glenn Phillips?
Hmm.
But they just couldn't find a way to play Glenn Phillips with Rutherford in there, and now he's also
That's it.
gone, right?
Hmm.
Glenn Phillips is gone, but still, I mean, it's still an overall fantastic season. We didn't expect Prasid Krishna to do as well. We didn't expect
Okay.
Rashid Khan to do so badly, so that's kind of balanced out. But Sai Kishore has been their best spinner by far. There's not even a competition there. Um, I just wish now, my wish for them for the playoffs is that Washington Sundar is used
Hmm.
at 4 and 5 or whatever,
Hmm.
right? And he's also gets more bowling,
Hmm.
because they need more sort of critical containing overs.
Hmm.
They need those because they found a way to lose against Rajasthan Royals, the
Correct.
200 runs they lost to. They conceded 230 against CSK. They conceded
Hmm.
I think 220 or something against SRH. Um,
Hmm.
so they have to figure out a way to manage that, but still overall they've pushed above their weight.
Hmm.
Gujarat, which you expect them to do, and Ashish Nehra is doing
Exactly.
something right there.
Yes. I think the management has done a great job in putting up this team and also getting them ready on the field.
Mm-hmm.
And all the players have performed whenever the need arose.
Right.
I think one disappointing fact was the way how Kishore was handled in certain matches. Sometimes Gill does not give him an over until the 15th or the 16th,
Right.
and sometimes he's expected to bowl the 18th and 20th. So I think that is where he was mishandled a little bit. I think it's better to give bowlers like Kishore their freedom, their field, so that they're going to be their purple cap holders for the team.
Yep, interesting. Uh, before we get to the positive and change, uh, how are they going to line up in the playoffs now that they've lost Butler? They've lost Rabada also. You've got Kusal Mendes who's come in. They've still got
Right.
Kurtzia, if I'm not, or is
Right.
Kurtzia gone? Kurtzia is gone, I think.
He's gone for the test
Kurtzia is
championship.
gone. So I don't know where their foreign fast bowling. I don't know where it's going to come from. But they've still got Kusal Mendes in there. But still, this team doesn't look like it's going to win now. That Butler and
Right.
Rabada, two big pieces of the puzzle, are gone.
I think I'll be bold enough to predict that Washington Sundar would be pulled in and asked to bat at number 3. Maybe complementing either Kishore or Gill once the wicket falls. And number 4 is going to be Sharfain and Shah Rukh Khan, and the rest follows. So that is how they're going to pace their batting, ensuring that the top again is going to score and put the runs on the board for them.
I think they need more from Tewati also, who's had a very average season.
Right.
They need more from that 4, 5, 6, 7. And I think if there's any time in the season to do it, it's now. So
Right.
they're going to need that, and they're facing a very, very good Mumbai Indians side. So we'll have to wait and watch. Very quickly, positives and change.
Yeah, positives was Sai Sudarshan. I mean, he's been brilliant in the last season also, and I expected him to bat again very well this season. That was one positive. And changes, I think, yes, the way Gill handled Sai Sudarshan and few of the bowlers, not Sai Kishore and a few other bowlers. I think he should be able to do a better job next year.
But I mean, I think the squad should probably stay the same. Maybe
Yep.
get one more overseas quick, maybe in there.
Overseas middle order as well.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not sure if Glenn Phillips going to come back. Even if he does, some people don't play him. I wonder why they don't play him in the playing 11. So.
You at least have to have him on the field, man.
Exactly.
You at least need him on the field. But yeah, interesting. We'll have to see how Gujarat goes in the playoffs. Moving to the second place team. Honestly, there's no difference between the second place team and the first place team in terms of net run rate. It's like 0.6 or whatever. Who gives a crap?
0.37, 0.30. Yeah.
Who gives a crap, right? But it's Royal Challengers Bengaluru, number one in Bengaluru, has made it to the qualifier 2 in such dramatic fashion. I can't tell you how good that innings was. Oh my God, Jitesh Sharma, what an innings! But this Royal Challengers Bangalore, Isala Cup namda, illa this year also is gone. Who knows? Bangalore, your thoughts?
Man, unfortunately, got to say next Sala Cup namda.
What? You're gonna piss off a lot of people, man.
See, the fact that you've chased 230 plus is great, but imagine conceding 230 plus. See, that is where that is where I'll put a few question marks. Okay. See, you've lost Hazelwood. You've relied on your existing bowlers, and if they perform this way in the eliminators or the finals, that is where you'll pay a huge price. So the batting has been brilliant. Virat has been the standalone warrior for them in the top. He's always contributed in every match. I'm happy with that. Unfortunate that they keep missing out Patidar on the field. He comes, but his batting has been okay in the second half of the season. And man, what an innings from Jitesh. His first IPL half century, I assume. And the way he got it with yesterday's innings was like absolute stunner, man. I was quite happy the way he played. I think this would be a boost for them, a boost of morale for them for the eliminator. So yes, all the best for them.
RCB for me this year has been not your typical RCB. They've always relied on one or two batsmen, 2 or 3 batsmen. It's been Virat, it's been Gale, it's been De Villiers, it's been Watson, it's been KL Rahul at times, it's been whoever was there at RCB in the 2010s, 2020 period, right? But this year it's been random people coming and playing innings at random moments and winning games. Right, Jitesh Sharma we saw yesterday. We saw Patidar do it against CSK in one of the games. We saw Devdutt Padikkal do it. We saw Mayank Agarwal do it yesterday. We saw Krunal Pandya do it against Delhi Capitals. We saw Salt do it one time. We saw Bethel do it one time. We saw guys like Romario Shepherd do it. Tim David has done it. Right, so every player has had their moments in the season. But the fulcrum of the team still revolves around Virat Kohli, which is still fine because RCB needed players to come out and play when Virat doesn't play, and they found that in every game. They found that
Correct.
they won 7 out of 7 away games. What an insane record that is.
Great.
It just goes to show you how much they hate playing at Chinnaswamy. But like the fact that they won 7 out of 7, I think is a mind blowing statistic.
Mhm.
They're still playing all the 4 games away now from Bangalore. Who's to
Mhm.
say they won't win it? Um,
Correct.
but but I think the biggest positive for them has been having a very good bowling lineup, because they've conceded
Mhm.
so many runs in the past, but they're able to win
Yes.
games at Chinnaswamy. They're able to win games that they're defending 180, 190, 200, 2 runs to win from the last ball, 6 runs,
Correct.
8, 10, 15 runs in the last over. They've thrown those in the past.
Mhm.
They've thrown it away
Yes.
completely. They're winning those
Yes.
with the help of
Yes.
Hazelwood, with Bhuvi Kumar, with
Mhm.
Yash
Mhm.
Dayal bowling last overs.
Mhm.
Suyash
Mhm.
Sharma has done a good job. Krunal
Mhm.
Pandya has been okay with the ball.
Mhm.
Guys like sorry, you had Romario Shepherd in there as well. He's not been amazing, but he's not been bad
Mhm.
either with the
Mhm.
ball. I don't know. Just for me, it looks like it's coming together, and something just tells me, I don't wanna jinx it,
Mhm.
but something tells me it's time.
Bang on, because like you pointed, the over reliance on Virat Kohli or one or two players has not been the pattern this year. All the players have stepped up. They said they'll contribute whenever needed, and that is the formula T20 is all about. It's never a single guy's game. It's about everybody coming together, hitting those crucial 10, 20 runs, not taking up too much balls, or pick one wicket whenever the need is. So those are the things that will win you T20 matches, and that is that was their winning mantra for the away games which they won.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, hopefully, if you're not going to jinx it, yes, it's going to be there.
I think also the big fact, they've had a management change in Mo Bobart and Andy Flower coming in there.
Yep.
Dinesh Karthik
Mm-hmm.
has done a fantastic job, in my opinion,
Right.
in terms of
Mm-hmm.
boosting the players and morale around the team. They've kept a very
Mm-hmm.
good environment there. They're playing
Mm-hmm.
pickleball during the war break.
Mm-hmm.
They're just having fun. It seems like a very
Mm-hmm.
positive environment, good air they're breathing.
Mm-hmm.
So RCB seem like a very good unit, but again, a very interesting stat this season. Whenever Virat Kohli has scored less than 30 or 25 runs, RCB has lost all the games. So,
Oh, interesting.
so they
Mm-hmm.
still kind of need Virat Kohli, but not as much as they needed him before. But
Previous
since
years.
since 2016, in my opinion, this is the greatest chance they've had
Yep. Absolutely
since
agree.
2016.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they're playing. I'll get to the qualifier game after we talk
Okay.
about Punjab, but
Uh-huh.
very quickly, positives, changes.
Positive was the way they've handled Yash Dayal. I think after him getting belted again, I mean, with Rinku Singh, the way they've backed him, they've given him crucial overs, they've given him the new ball overs, and he's delivered. So that was one positive sign for me. He's going to do the same for the Indian team if picked as well. That's one positive. And the room for improvement is they're recorded in the home games.
Mm-hmm.
I think they'll have to change their approach in their home games, especially.
Right.
Either get their bowling straight, defend better scores, and stuff like that.
Yeah, maybe I think the over reliance on Hazelwood still exists, but he's
Correct.
back. But he's back from an injury, so will he have the same
Mm.
teeth? We'll have to wait and watch.
Mm-hmm.
Coming to the top of the table, Punjab Kings.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Ponting at the very start of the season said, "We will no longer settle for mediocrity at Punjab."
Uh-huh.
At the start of the season, I said nothing has changed, guys, but they've proven everybody wrong. Shreyas Iyer, they spent 26.75 crores. But who have been the stars for Punjab? It's been people nobody's talking about. It's been the
Mm-hmm.
uncapped players. They're going in with 6 uncapped players in every game.
Yep.
These guys have topped the table.
Mm-hmm.
All doubts on whether Shreyas Iyer is a good captain or not should be put to rest. He's a fantastic captain, the most astute captain in my opinion in the entire tournament. Punjab Kings, insane, incredible.
If you ask me honestly, I'll totally compare them to the team Rajasthan Royals of 2008.
Wow,
I mean,
that's a big.
Shane Warne had nobodies in their team.
Mm-hmm.
He had people who've been low bidded than what the IPL price was. They were also fined for that. So, as a guy like Shreyas Iyer has folks in the team who are nobody actually. Prabh Simran Singh, Priyank Sharia, who are they? They score the bulk of the runs. Who are the other middle order options? Shashank Singh, he scores the runs. You have Marcus Stoinis, he scores, he delivers whenever needed. Shreyas Iyer wants to prove a point, he does to the
Josh
selectors.
Inglis.
Josh Inglis comes out of nowhere, gets promoted to number 3, he delivers. So everybody is a nobody in this team. They come in, they perform, they do their job. That's when you win the matches. Simple as that. And Shreyas Iyer has been at the core of this uh, team. He said, "Yes, I'm going to make a statement. I'm going to put my name forward for the Indian captaincy, even though you kicked me out of the Test team." And yes, he's going to prove it again.
I'm just mesmerized by Punjab. I had them in my
Uh-huh.
top four again. There's no reason why they should not be in the top four. The only question with Punjab was not that whether they had the players or not. It was, will Preeti Zinta fuck things up for them? Will the management fuck things up? Will Ponting and Iyer get along? And my God, have they gotten along? Have they gotten along really well? Um,
Mhm.
and even the bowling also has been very good. Harpreet Brar has been fantastic for them.
Mhm.
Arshdeep Singh has been always on song. Chahal
Mhm.
has been decent. You
Mhm.
have you have guys like Vijay Kumar, Vaishak coming in, but
Mhm.
Marco Jansen, what a season he's had. Um,
Yep.
the parts seem to be coming together. Punjab could also go all the way this year. I don't want to again. I don't want to
Absolutely.
jinx it, but I think for me, like again, one of the stories of the season, Shashank Singh, a player who Punjab did not want. They confused the
Mhm.
names. They didn't want him. He's now captaining the side in Shreyas Iyer's absence
Right.
when he was not available to be on the field. Like,
Mhm.
what a story for Shashank Singh.
Great story, man. I mean, the way he paired up with Ashutosh was the beginning of everything for me because both of them have confidence. They know which ball to attack, which bowler to target, and the clarity in their minds was what made them what they are today. So Punjab ensuring he's retained is was like a boon to him, to the team as well. So yes, he's stood up for them.
And we also have to talk about Prabh Simran Singh and Priyan Charya.
Uh-huh,
That
uh-huh,
the fact that you've trusted an uncapped opening combination
uh-huh.
through the entire tournament. I mean, people are thinking
Right,
it's going to be Inglis at the top. People are saying,
right.
no, Shreyas Iyer might open. People are saying, maybe you might get Marcus Stoinis in there to open the innings. There are all these possibilities and permutations. Nobody was discussing Priyan Charya. Nobody was. Let's be very honest. Nobody was talking about Priyan
Mhm,
Charya.
mhm.
But my God, what an insane season this guy's had. What an amazing talent. Punjab finally have a core that they can retain. Please retain. Don't fuck this up.
Yes. I mean, Prabh Simran Singh was always there for them at the core. Remember the chase with Bairstow, where he was the one who gave them the start to go
Right,
all
right.
the way. So he was that guy who always had confidence in himself. He's delivered, and to add to that combination was Priyan Charya. Man, what a stylish left-hander! The way he scored a century against CSK, I
Yeah.
was happy for him. I was like, it's okay. CSK, even if they lose, I love this guy's batting. He's a lefty like me, so why not just be happy over it. So what a find, man, Priyancharya. I mean, Delhi brings up talents like nobody.
Priyan Charya, Prabh Simran Singh, Shashank Singh, Harpreet Brar.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Mm-hmm.
it's oozing talent. It's oozing quality now. After we've seen the brilliance of the uncapped, and I think this IPL has been about uncapped players. Make no
Mm-hmm.
mistake, it's been all about the uncapped debutants, the talents. They've really sparkled a very lackluster IPL for the existing cricketers, for the
Mm-hmm.
the established cricketers. They've sparkled it up, and how well they've done it. I'm just so happy to see such an insane talent coming out of India. It's beautiful. I think the
Mm-hmm.
future is more than secure. Um,
Mm-hmm.
that wraps up the table conversation. I want to get to the playoffs now. Okay, now we're done with the league stages. Now it's the business time. It's Punjab versus Bangalore tomorrow. Big game. Two teams that have never won the IPL.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them have a chance to go into the final. Historically speaking, it's usually one of the two teams from the qualifier that wins it. If the
Correct.
trend continues, we will definitely have a new IPL winner this year.
Correct.
It's Punjab versus Bangalore. Big stakes, big game, mouth-watering clash, and it's happening at Punjab's home ground, Mullanpur.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How do you see this game?
Well, like you said, it's always been the qualified teams who've gone on to win the cup. But here is where I'd say, even if one of them, it's okay. I don't think they'll lose their confidence because the way they've performed in the league stages was way too good. So it's okay for them to lose and get back in the eliminator. So best of luck for both of the teams. But I'd still root for Punjab this case.
If you ask me, I think the fact that if I look at both the teams right now and if I ask myself which team has a few more weaknesses, I
Mm-hmm.
feel Bangalore has more weaknesses than Punjab
Right.
just because they are reliant on that Virat Kohli 25 and also whether
Exactly.
Hazelwood will come good or not. And the fact
Mm-hmm.
that they conceded 228, 230 against Lucknow, and coming from that game,
Uh-huh.
it was a bit of an ugly win. Let's not make
Exactly.
any mistake there.
Hmm.
but also the fact that Punjab have 6 uncapped players going into a playoff.
Mm-hmm.
Will they have the teeth to go beyond the pressure, beyond the anxiety of playing in the playoff, beyond the
Correct.
fact that you have not won a title yet?
Exactly.
That, and mind you, Punjab is qualified in the playoffs after 11 years.
Right. Correct.
So I think it's very even for me. I can't call it. I honestly cannot call it because on
Mm-hmm.
paper, even though Punjab is feels stronger, the dynamics of the playoffs tell me different things.
Correct. I think when you say the dynamics, it looks like the finals between CSK and MI in 2010.
Mm.
CSK were already in the playoffs in 2008, so most of their players were already adjusted to on how knockouts are going to play. But Mumbai Indians, if you see, were very nervous that day. They dropped many catches of Suresh Raina. I thought it's a very similar scenario to Punjab as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very big moment for all the uncapped players. I'm pretty sure there'll be some butterflies in the stomach. But hopefully, a guy like Ricky Ponting would just swat out those butterflies and say, man, just another game for you guys. Just put your heads down, keep your feet rolling.
Bangalore has made the playoffs. I think in the last 6 editions of the IPL, they made it 5 out of 6. So
Yep.
they've been consistently in the playoffs
Mm-hmm.
for the last
Mm-hmm.
few years. Um, but again, they've dropped it in the playoffs.
Yes.
But again, we're playing against a Ponting's Punjab, which is why I
Mm.
think Shreyas Iyer's role is now that much more crucial. You know,
Correct.
and Chahal has to stand up. Arshdeep has to
Yes.
stand up. It's guys like this.
Yes.
You know,
Mm.
of course, Priyancharya, Prabh Simran Singh. I mean, you expect them to do
Mm-hmm.
well, but the fulcrum or the way the match is going to swing is going to depend upon these guys: Virat
Mm-hmm.
Kohli, Shreyas Iyer, Arshdeep, Yuzi Chahal, Phil Salt, Bhuvneshwar Kumar, Hazelwood. It's all these
Correct.
names that are going to make the difference, I think, in tomorrow's game. But I'm
Yes.
super excited,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll tell you something: I wouldn't mind a Bangalore win, although
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably have to hide in a cave if Bangalore wins, because
Man, the humiliation.
I'll get a bunch of missed calls
Uh-huh.
if Bangalore wins the IPL this year. But
Mhm.
I'll be very happy if one of these two teams wins. I'll be very, very happy for both of the teams because they both played phenomenal cricket. The two
Yes.
best teams in the tournament, the most complete teams in the tournament by far.
Mm. Mhm.
Um, it would be great to see.
Mm.
We'll quickly touch up on the Mumbai Gujarat eliminator game also, and then we'll
Okay.
close. So Mumbai Gujarat, I think Mumbai is going to take it. It's a very clear call for me. Your thoughts?
Absolutely. I mean, Shubman Gill's captaincy is where it'll be important now to focus on the finals because now that he's got the England captaincy, I think he's lost his first match against CSK.
Hmm.
I've seen nerves from him because, come on, man, a washed out team like CSK scoring 200 plus against you would obviously be a confidence belter.
Right.
So if he's capable of forgetting that experience and just come up as a new man in this eliminator, that is when he'll prosper. If not, yes, Hardik Pandya and team are more experienced in these scenarios. They know when to get their best aura out, and they're going to bring it out. They're going to come all guns blazing at you and ensure that yes, they will trounce on.
I feel tomorrow it's very imperative for Tilak Verma to have a good game. It's really
Uh-huh.
more than winning. Of course, Mumbai has to win, but
Yes.
something our key takeaway that they need tomorrow is Tilak Verma to have a very good game because
Right.
they don't. They're losing. They've lost Rickleton Jacks, so they
Mm-hmm.
definitely need Tilak to do well.
Mm-hmm.
Bairstow, we don't. There shouldn't be any pressure on Bairstow because he's coming after so long. Rohit
Correct.
Sharma, again, we know he's gonna do Rohit Sharma. He's gonna hit 20 of 10 and go away. Surya
Mm-hmm.
Kumar, the thing is, but for Surya Kumar to play without pressure, he needs
Mm.
somebody with him at the crease, which is what has been the key
Right.
in across all these games. Surya Kumar has
Correct.
stayed towards the end, and the last
Mm.
3 4 overs, they've gotten the 60, 70 odd that they need
Exactly.
to get to that 180, 190, 200 total, whatever it is,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Now, without the Jacks, without Rickleton, if Pandya doesn't score, if Tilak doesn't score, they're going to struggle.
Mm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
I feel Tilak having a good game is key for them. And of course,
Yes.
the bowling will do the bowling. I think the bowling we don't
Yes.
have to worry about. But the
Mm-hmm.
batting, it's all in the key that 3, 4, 5. That's where the key
Correct.
is.
Yep. Absolutely agree.
Yeah, and with Gujarat, I think the same thing. Like it's all about Shah Rukh Khan,
Three,
Sundar,
four,
these
five.
guys. But again, for them to really win, Shubman and Sai Sudarshan have to battle. One of them have to play to the 15th, 16th
Correct.
over, right?
Yes.
So that is always a given with Gujarat. But still,
Mhm.
I feel also that bowling has now lost teeth. So
Yes.
Mumbai still have the upper hand
Mm.
there.
Mm.
But it'll be interesting to see who qualifies at the end. Very
Mm.
quickly, your winner of the IPL for this year,
Mumbai again, man.
Mumbai. Okay.
Yes.
Uh, Bangalore, Punjab.
RCB,
Bangalore, Punjab. Bangalore, Punjab.
RCB.
I'm going to say Punjab. I have a feeling
Uh-huh,
Punjab,
uh-huh.
but Bangalore, don't write them off. Don't write them off,
Mm,
man.
never, never.
Yep. Thank you so much, man, Anurag. It's been great discussing the league stage,
Mhm.
IPL, playoffs, everything. It's been a fantastic discussion. Thank you all to whoever's watching. Thank you guys for staying till the end, if you've stayed till the end. And very quickly, Anurag, where can we follow you on Instagram, Twitter, whatever?
Sure, sure, guys. So I'm on Twitter as obvious mad lad. You can hit me up on Twitter.
All right. And you can follow me at Cricket Krishna, Krishna Kalki, where I post my music, whatever. Thank you so much, Anurag. Take care. All the best.
Take care.
IPL playoffs, Jai Ho, CSK
Yep.
forever.
CSK forever.
All right.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.